Let's head over this way, see if we can find some enemies trying to be all sneaky breaky. Looks like we got a bit of a down tier, possibly. Bit of a down tier, all the way down to 6.7. So that's alright. Let's hope most of their team is also 6.7 and not just ours. I should probably go sit right there. Its mobility's not bad. I take it Mr. Robert sees something. Wow, look at that Tokyo drift on the sand there.
I agree.
Hope I can actually see something right here. I'm not even sure I can. Oh, I can. How about that?
No. Need backup.
Huh. Come and get some, buddy. Got his breach. Oh, there's another one. Oh, jeez. Can't reload in time. Oh my god, they're all right there. Wish I had artillery right now. Really wish I had artillery right now, and that guy knows I'm here. Oh, jeez, back away, back away, back away, down the hill, down the hill. Oh, I hope you get him, because I need to run.
Repairing. Roger that.
Get him, Noshorn.
Enemy is taking the initiative. Attention to the map.
There's too much bias. Run. If we can make it back across here. Might have a chance to make it to A and repair. Or not. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Attention to the map.
There he is right there. Go, 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 go. Too much open ground to cover to get back to repair. Thanks again for not letting us have repair kits as a default thing. Well... Alright, everybody. So we pick up with post-commentary now. Everything up until now was live, because it was part of the first 10, battle number 9 for the M48A1, and now we pick up post-commentary for the rest of the battle. So I spawned back in my M56 Scorpion. Thought I could get up there to the left, which of course I couldn't. You'll see me make that same move again later, but whatever. In the heat of battle, I don't always pay attention to where I'm driving. So rather than head over to the spot where we had just been fighting off there to the right of me, I decided to head up towards the middle here, hopefully set up kind of an ambush position with the Scorpion up top here. Spot some enemy air coming in off in the distance. Warn the team. I'm looking over there behind me. Find a T-54 ready to get destroyed, which was in fact the one who had killed me, which would have been quite a pleasant kill to get, but he got wiped out instead by a Panther II. Here comes the enemy air I was talking about. And there's another T-54, which ends up being a Type 62, in fact. Dispatch him with a single shot. This was the first battle I'd actually been able to use the M82 nuke rounds, and I was extremely pleased with that. I've finished the research for them, just never played the M56 since then. Try to pick my way carefully through this tent and encampment here so as to not betray my position to anybody who might actually be watching or see the motion out of the corner of their eye. Do a little quick scan of my left side here, make sure I'm not driving in front of anyone or that anyone is sneaking past me. Spot somebody up here just moving around the left side of these rocks. And also get it pointed out to me by my steadfast teammate there. I can't pronounce your name if you ever happen to watch this, so I'm just gonna say Sugar. Got what realistically should have been a kill shot on a T-54, but knocked out his gun anyway. Not all of his gun, but most of his gun. And watch this shot. I should have just shot low. I should have gone low and shot right underneath his fender there. Thankfully, all he got was my driver, not the loader, not the gunner, so I was able to dispatch him with a second shot, where I should have shot him in the first place. In the fuel and the ammo. Once poor shot-up guy switches out to become the driver. Loader, I guess. The loader switches out for the poor shot-up driver. Don't know how the loader didn't get hit there, he should have. And now I'm going to go chasing down the other guy that I saw up here that I couldn't quite identify, but I know there was another one, so... like the good tracker hunter that I am, I'm going to follow his tracks. Also, there's somebody capping our point, so that's a pretty good indicator of someplace that I should probably go. As I spot another enemy coming. It's a Su-122-54. Just able to get the gun to finally track over on him and dispatch him with an M82 nuke round. God, they're so good. I love these shells. And there's an IS-3 capping our point. We'll take him out with a shot to the back of the dome, too. With the slight problems in the complete lack of armor and the recoil from the gun and the gun's kind of whiplash effect when you, like, for instance, spin around like this. The gun takes quite a bit of time to settle down and come back into true before you can aim. The M56 is quite a fun vehicle to drive, particularly as a second or third kind of thing, even as a first option. On a map like this, if you can get out into the open quickly and take somebody out from the sides, boy, you're going to have a lot of fun. Get knocked out by a Su-100. He gets killed shortly after, and that gave me 4 kills with the M56. Not too bad for a second spawn vehicle. That lets me come back in my Sky Raider, and I was not the only kind of cast coming in. At least 2 aircraft here I know that are capable of ground strike. The HO-229 and myself. The F-8F1 could potentially not have any ground strike weapons, and the 190 could be air only. But even so, they can go and deal with the enemy fighters that are all around and leave the other two of us up to fight against 2 airstrikes. So, not bad. Our 190 is engaged pretty heavily. But the good thing is he's keeping any sort of enemies off of me and maybe the HO-229. Which lets me come in and line up. The F-8F1 did actually have bombs, as you can see, which lets me line up a good strike on these 2 tanks right here. Unfortunately, I didn't have the right kind of bomb delay on my bombs, and they blew my wings off, but I thought this part was pretty hilarious right here. Boink! As the wreck of my Sky Raider comes to a crashing stop in the rocks. I thought that was kind of humorous. And we did end up taking out both of the tanks there that I hit, so I killed one and the other one got killed shortly after for an assist, so... I nearly brought my B-29 in, but the way they have changed bombers and the bomb sight, and the way the bomb sight looks, which you'll see in an upcoming video, watch for my video with a 10-kill British tank lineup, and you'll see what I talk about with the way the cockpit view and the bomber view is with bombers and ground battles right now. Actually, it's just all together. It's awful. But at any rate, I decided to come back in the M103 for ground striking and capturing and defending purposes. Got a pretty good hit on the IL-4 with my machine guns, but the Kugelblitz dealt with him, and he managed to get his bombs off, and I thought I was going to actually take some pretty severe damage there. But thankfully, those bombs were just a little too far away. Now, I complain about the bomb not being powerful enough, and I really, honestly, I should have been killed there, but I guess you take advantage of what you can take advantage of. I survived, and the IL-4 didn't. Tried to get some cover on our poor F8F1 there, getting chased down by a communist fighter, and then he gets another one right on him, although that one was at least coming in too fast. I actually got a couple hits, but of course, if you don't get a fire, then you're not going to do much. But I did manage to get a supporting fire, as the Kugelblitz was able to strike some real good shots home on the MiG-9 and actually spring our friendly F8F free. And what's this? Why, it's more work to do. And this was hilarious. I couldn't get the gun reloaded and get around fast enough on this BT-5, I think it is. Yep. Before he got absolutely raffle stomped by a T-29. That was extremely disappointing right there. My Heat FS shell hits the tent, which was very much not in the field of view, which should have quite quickly dealt with this T-44. But on the plus side, the T-44 apparently didn't realize what was going on and drove right into my follow-up shot for kill number 8. So, I guess it all worked out in the end. And while I waited, Sew-Giver, Sugar, Sev-Giver, whatever you want to call it, was able to catch up to me in his T-29 up here. More enemy air is coming in, so we've got a pair of heavies rolling in. And there's another enemy tank rolling across. IS-2, dispatched with a single 120mm Heat FS round. Now, it's kind of hard to tell in the replay, but very definitely, once you zoom in, you can see it. It's either a PE2 or a TU2. It's definitely turns out it is a PE2, but I thought it looked like a TU2 from my viewpoint here. Now, the T-29, I accidentally rushed my shot here on this IS-2 because I thought he must have been reloaded, and I fired right over the top of him. Completely rookie shot there. Blew my shot and missed my chance to kill another IS-2 and end up with even more kills in the battle. The T-29 is able to get around and start repairing, and unfortunately gets hit by the IS-2. As I'm moving in to kill the IS-2 around the rocks, I get hit by an IS-3 myself, who was coming straight at us and I never saw him. So the best thing I could do is come in the Duster and hope that I can either provide some AAA support to our friendlies, maybe do a little defending of A, maybe recapture it, And it turns out there's a PT-76 up there somewhere that we also didn't know about who knocks out our T-29.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
So with the M42, I start playing a little bit more cautiously and play a bit more of a goal line kind of defense here, so not quite as aggressive as I normally am with everything else. Now I'm going to stop at this rock and see what I can see. Kind of camp out a little bit, watching for enemy air, because we know there is still some up somewhere. Or at least we suspect there is. Very glad I have the armor-piercing shells for the M42 rather than the stock ones, so at least I had a little bit of confidence that I'd be able to do something against ground units here. The PT-76 has been knocked out by our Ferdinand. Or at least one of the PT-76s has. Because as it turns out, there's another one. Spoiler alert. Now there's something just beyond the hill here that I can see firing, but I can't quite see myself. And the IS-3 knocks out our Ferdy from off to the right, which stops me from driving up to assist my teammates, and then another PT-76 takes out my random squad mate in the Kugelblitz. So now I'm really falling back because I'm not about to be the lead tip of the spear here, but then I see something moving, and like I said, there was at least one more PT-76 out, and thank goodness I had the armor-piercing shells from my M42, and there's my 10th kill for the battle total. Which, as far as I know, is probably the most I've ever had in a ground forces battle. At least that I'm aware of. And now, like I said, too, I've got another battle coming up with a British lineup where I also got 10 kills, which will be a video soon. As soon as I narrate it. So, to my knowledge, I don't believe I've had more than 10 kills in a ground battle, although it's possible that I did, and I just am forgetful. So now we're trying to work a little bait and ambush on the IS-3 that's coming into our base. And I'm going to drive up here and try to bait him in by shooting at him from the side, draw him over to me, and then our teammates there in the M46 and another Ferdinand will be able to deal with him. But I've got to locate him first. Wasn't sure if there was anything down there hiding in the dark, so I shot. And it turns out he's a lot farther in front of me than I thought he was. They deal with his breach, and then they take him out. At the same time that a Su-100 takes out poor Sugiur again in his M46. So now I'm trying to find the Su-100 because I can deal with the Su-100 with my armor-piercing shells, probably from the front, but most certainly from the sides and the back. So I move into search mode, and then he gets killed almost immediately by an M26 over off to my left. So wherever he was destroyed. So I'm going to press forward and at least try to be... Now I've got some actual fighting tanks coming up behind me, so I'm a little more willing and confident to go charging forward as a reconnaissance type vehicle. See what I can find. And what I find is that there's an ASU-85 waiting in ambush off to my right. But at least I found him and sort of let the team know because I was out in front of them and they saw me get destroyed, so... Now, I wasn't going to come in again with a backup. I was hoping I'd be able to bring my B-29 in. And was just going to wait this battle out. And then I decided, the heck with it, I can defeat an ASU-85. And really, this was a 7.7 maxed out lineup because when I do first 10s, I always make sure that the featured vehicle is the highest battle rating that I have. So I was maxed out at 7.7, which meant no M60s and no M163 in my lineup, which is why I had the M42. And since I have the M163 now, and that is my primary high-tier anti-air vehicle, keeping the spare vehicle for the M42 didn't really serve any purpose, so why not use it? And boy, I wish I had the M163, because I would have made Swiss mincemeat cheese out of that I-16, but it didn't really matter because ME262 versus I-16, when I-16 is already on defensive from AAA, easy pickings.
If we don't do something fast,
3 minutes left in the battle, exactly. This one looks to be going duration. There's a Su-122-54 that just took out our M56E1 that was closest right up alongside their B point. I didn't see or hear where it came from, just saw him disappear from the map. There's the site of my bombing earlier. ZSU-37 gets taken out by the 262. And we're behind on tickets by 100 points. We've been constantly, almost this entire battle, behind on tickets by 1 to 200. I take a hit from the Su-122-54 right there, and then some machine gun fire, which somehow neither kills me nor disables my gun, amazingly, and for whatever reason, he backs away behind. Not because of me, I'm sure. Although possibly because I would be spotting him as soon as I can fire again, which I do. But maybe because of the friendlies coming up right behind, because the Ferdinand can certainly deal with him. Now I know I'm throwing up a lot of dust and dirt there and preventing my enemies from seeing him, or my teammates rather from seeing him. But I'm going to keep shooting. I'm trying to do any kind of damage, disable his gun, whatever. Knock out his tracks, anything that keeps him behind that little castle turret there and keeps him from shooting at our guys, or at least letting our guys get up into position. Somehow, I'm going to actually survive this. The ZSU-37 that shot down my squad mate in the 262 is dealt with. And I've sort of got this guy pinned. If not pinned, I've at least got him marked behind the rocks there. So that, if nothing else, he's not going to pop up and shoot any of our teammates at least without me marking him for them and them seeing him get hit. Now, there's a little bit of a hill back there, which he has backed down behind that castle turret and moved to the right behind the hill. And there he is. And now I'm going to do my best Cyril Figgis impression here. Suppressing fire! And just shoot. And shoot and shoot. And shoot and shoot and shoot some more. Even though it turns out there's actually nothing there because he backed away. But hey, apparently he was scared of the 40 mils on the M42, so it worked. And sadly, we're just not going to have enough time. We've got this battle won. We've got them fully back on their heels. We have the advantage. We are in the capture zone. They have nothing left to stop us from capping except time. He's just going to sit back there, hide behind the hill, and win on tickets, which is how the game works. At least he's not in a bomber and flying off to the far edges of the Earth at 35,000 feet, but there it is. Pretty good battle all around. Really good scores on the team, on both teams actually, but myself with 10 kills and 2 assists, and I didn't even have the most kills on the team, as Sugur came in with a round dozen. Here's the final score wrap-up. I have no tanks left to research, so you could see, you've seen all these score reports here in the M48 video, but not this one right here. There's 10 kills, 2 assists, 12 kills and 4 assists for Sugur, and so on. Here's all the kill reports on IS-3, Type 62, a bunch of IS-3s, a bunch of T-54s, IS-2s, PT-76s, all kinds of things getting knocked out. And all the mission awards, Eye for Eye, One Shot, Supporting Fire, Multi-Strike, Tank Rescuer, Avenger, Professional, Shadow Strike Streak, Teamwork, and Best Squad, and unfortunately we just ran out of time. We had that battle, but that's the way it goes. Hope you guys like this one. I like bringing some shorter battles besides first 10s every now and then, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out.